working. Go ahead and minimize that and see how it looks on our live screen. Hopefully you guys are seeing me, hearing me, and I obviously hope that the quality is much better than what we did yesterday. It literally took me less than an hour to find another program that I think will stream a higher quality version of my video feed of what I'm seeing. And it does look like that's certainly better. It's not super high quality. What is it giving me at? It's still 720. If you guys could also let me know what you're seeing here. Is this better, worse than yesterday? In terms of just like the clarity, the crispness of the image. Kind of hard for me to tell inside the virtual world. I guess I'll obviously see this afterwards. But for now, I'll go ahead and get down to your guys' chat and say good morning, Andrew. Morning, Michael. Good morning, guys. Andrew says, I don't have VR glasses, but all the music industry conventions I've been attending the past few years, they've been having good panels and workshops on it. I haven't even gotten in mixing 2 channels. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a brand new venture for all of us, Andrew, to kind of get good at that. So it looks pretty good. Okay, cool. Awesome. We're seeing you looking at 2 monitors. Yes. So I actually have over on the right side here, Sync Academy. So this is our Sync Academy platform. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about inside of here. Absolutely. Yes. We are in this kind of cool looking, whatever you call it, whatever this kind of shape would be called, interesting room. Hopefully I can show you guys behind me too. So there's a couple of environments actually. I'll show you guys here real quick as we wait for people to get in. I think if I go to my virtual environment, we can go to a couple places. Here's the classic home. So you can see we're in a different place now. Cool little lounge area. Pretty fun stuff. And then they also have the Winter Lodge. So, and I know that they can do, like you can do a bunch of other environments. So this is kind of cool. You're, up in the mountains basically. I'll keep this one. This one's pretty fun. The last piece of tech that I'm still working out is getting audio from this bad boy to my computer. I can record videos, but live streaming the audio, like if I were to do something right now and I'm playing music, I don't believe that I can take audio right now as it is into my computer live. At least I tried to pair it with the system that I'm working right now, and it didn't quite work. So the next thing I might try is plugging in a Bluetooth audio transmitter actually into this, take that audio, capture the audio in my computer. And right now I'm actually using my laptop. So, and the reason being is that my iMac doesn't have the USB-C input. I had to order the adapter for a USB-C into a traditional USB to be able to use this with my iMac. But right now I'm just using my MacBook laptop right now. So, Andrew, is there a module in Sync Academy on setting up computer gear setup to have dual monitors like that? Yeah, well, this is actually included right now. I'm using Oculus Quest. So this is from, this is Oculus's basically standalone headset. You will see a cable coming out of my, headset right now, but it's not, you don't have to have that plugged into your computer to use it. I'm just using this so that I can get you guys the video feed actually that you're seeing right here. That was the way that I could do this live. But this is a completely standalone headset, meaning that you can just charge it, and the controllers that I'm using here, you guys can see, are powered by batteries. And so it's literally just turn it on and it's, kind of dummy proof. You just get started and do whatever you want to do. So that's a really cool thing and one of the reasons why I wanted to mess with this is because you don't have to go buy a $1,500, computer with a graphics card to use this kind of stuff anymore. By the way, I wanted to do this before we got too far into it. No, I didn't even do that. So forgive me for being an amateur at this, guys. I am now live. So it's kind of cool. I can actually post in Sync Academy. Where's my exclamation marks? I guess that would be over here. There we go. So obviously getting used to all this stuff. I don't get it. Why can't I actually comment. So who knows? I thought I could be able to leave a comment here, but it's like I can't for some reason. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll try to refresh here and see if that does it. Sorry if you hear my cat meowing in the background. He likes to get some attention, of course, the minute that I can't give it to him. So just ignore him if you hear him. Let's try it one more time. Test. Yeah, so it looks like we still have a problem here. So I imagine some of this stuff, they're still, because obviously this is a sort of an app that we're using, even though this is a desktop version of Sync Academy. The sort of compatibility issues are still being worked out right now. So it looks like you can't comment yet inside of here, which is kind of cool. Or not kind of cool, but it will be worked out eventually. Did I hit the return key? Yes, I think I did do that. Michael, thanks for the suggestion, but I think I did hit this. It just goes to the next line, actually. It's not sort of like an enter or post. So it looks like the only way, I'm not seeing any other way to do it. So who knows? Version of Sync Academy. But my ultimate vision would be to create an actual room, like a room that I'm in right now, and imagine that we had Sync Academy members in here hanging out, collaborating, learning from each other, chatting, whatever. That's kind of what I would want to do long term, is turn this 2D dimensional, platform that we're all using into a 3-dimensional hangout spot, basically, for people to collaborate and learn something, even make music together, give feedback on each other's tracks. There was one cool hangout area where, I don't know if you can kind of see it in this one. Yeah, I mean, imagine if you had, try to turn around here. Imagine if you had, this isn't a great looking one, but you could have a situation where everybody's just kind of hanging around in one area. One member puts their track up on a screen and everybody gets to hear and listen to that track, and then you can kind of go around the room and everybody can kind of give their thoughts in real time while you're in this chat room. So really cool things that could be happening. I think that'll be even more meaningful than, even though text feedback does help, I think having just like a personal interaction with somebody giving you feedback on your music is really cool. Very exciting idea. So that's what I want to do maybe in the future, and figure out how to use that. I'm definitely looking into some apps. I can show you guys some of the apps that are able to do that, but there's a couple of things you have to, nothing's worked out yet. That's what I want to say, is that, where can I see all apps? It might be all of my, yeah, there we go. So the one that I use, that we could use, Alt Space VR, that's one that's really cool, where you can actually go into your own private room. Meet in VR, it's another meeting one. I think those are the only two for now. I know they have many other cool little cafe, but the cool thing is, let's say I want to go to a cafe and get some work done, but I don't really necessarily want to talk to people, but you have that feeling sometimes when you go to a cafe, you're more productive when you just are around people. This is where some of these kind of apps are going to come in play, where you're going to be stuck at home now, obviously with the quarantining going on for a long time, but you miss that sort of, a little bit of connection, a little bit of human interaction, even a little chat here and there. You don't have to chat the whole time, but you can actually have your little desk space set up for you in a virtual environment, and then just either hear people in the background or just once in a while chat with somebody there. So, that's going to be kind of a cool thing, including the one here. This is kind of a fun one. Where to go? Big screen. You can actually go to your own cinema. You can actually go to your own movie theater. And I'll do some videos in the future and I'll show you guys all this kind of cool stuff. But you could even just do your work in the movie theater, I think. I think they can allow you to do your virtual desktop in there. And so you can literally just be in your own private movie theater, working on your whatever you want to work on. If it's boring metadata, if it's, putting together your website or whatever it is you wanted to do. You don't have to be stuck at home, with the same old environment that you're used to, especially right now. How many of us are getting a little stir crazy, obviously. I'm not so much, just because my life is quarantining, essentially. I work from home. I spend a lot of time at home. So it hasn't been a big disruption for me. But I know a lot of people, this is really hard. This is a really big challenge to be stuck at home for this long. So, I think there's going to be some cool opportunities now. And I can't stress this enough, guys. Get on this now. Like, start looking at this technology. If you can afford to get a headset, get one. Dive into this stuff and realize that this is like a huge wave of economic boom coming our way very quickly. And this is the time to get ahead of the curve and be an early adopter for this stuff and see how you can take advantage of it. I can't stress that enough. A couple of questions there. Martin, am I typing or mousing when I write something? I'm actually using my, I'll show you here, even though it doesn't work. So if you guys can see, hopefully I'll look down. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually pointing my little cursor at everything, and I just click a button when I want to do that, right? Or delete, 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 all that kind of stuff. So you're actually just pointing and clicking. They also have your hands. I haven't even gotten used to or even tried to figure out how to do that. But if I put this down, let's see if it'll recognize my hands. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think it will because it's going to see those two right now. So I'm not going to mess with that. But I do have this automatic thing now where if the controllers are not being detected, it'll automatically detect my hands. And there's a way you can like pinch your hands and do some stuff with it. But I haven't even gotten into any of that stuff. So Andrew, what made you want to start doing this? Well, I actually was into virtual reality in 2014 and 2015 when the first Oculus came out. I actually bought both versions. I bought the first version, and then like a week later, I looked on Craigslist and found some other kid who was selling the DK2, the second version, and so I went and bought that too. Since I was a kid, I bought the Virtual Boy, if you guys remember that old Nintendo game. I was into that, when that first came out. I just was always into this idea of immersing yourself into a virtual environment. I just think it's a cool toy, essentially. I just think it's this cool thing. And now it's going to be much more serious than just a cool toy to play with. It's going to be, it's going to create industries, like not just new businesses, but entire industries are going to be birthed out of this stuff. So I'm just excited about it. I'm kind of, I'm not really necessarily an early adopter to technology, but I just love technology. I've always been kind of an observer of it and a studier of it, and just looked at how technology has just completely changed everything, right? Since we've, in the last 20 years, think about how your life has completely changed from it. So I think it's a smart thing to just keep your finger on the pulse, look at what's out there, and take advantage of it when it becomes something that like the masses can start to adopt. And we're around the corner here. I mean, this is getting to the point where this is cheaper than the whatever industry standard smartphones. How much is a Galaxy or an iPhone right now? $1,000, $1,100, and this is $600. So it's getting to the point where most people, if they're paying for those ridiculous phones, they can also afford this. And so that what's going to happen is this is going to start to merge with cell phones, or vice versa, or this is just going to get much cheaper and smaller. It's going to be probably the size of just some sunglasses at some point soon. And it's going to be as you go outside, you see that everybody has a cell phone. In a couple of years, everybody will have a VR set of some sort, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, vice versa. So it's coming up. Martin's asking, seems like this would work really well with an iPod and touchscreen for typing fast replies. Yeah, you can connect, what do you call it? You can connect like a keyboard, and probably you can connect an iPod or an iPad or something like that for use. So you can have an actual typing thing. I haven't gotten into that yet. But I also know with your fingers, when it detects your fingers, you can also pull up that keyboard, and I think you can actually just type in the virtual world. Now, how easy is that? I have no idea. I'm sure it's definitely a learning curve. I'm not saying that you just put this thing on and everything's just completely intuitive. It's fairly intuitive, but it's not like it took me a couple of days to kind of figure out how to navigate this stuff and click things and find stuff out. So, M. Prado, I'd love to hang out there. Yeah, it'd be cool to have you here too. And I'm definitely going to be, kind of surfing around and seeing how many Sync Academy members or you guys here on my YouTube channel have an Oculus or have something that we could start to get together and hang out and try this stuff out. I'm definitely looking for people to do that. So if anybody here watching this has an Oculus Quest, a Rift, a Vive, anything, and you want to start, collaborating and figuring out some cool ways that we can start to meet each other in these virtual environments, like email me or comment under this video or whatever, and let's get in touch. Let's figure out how we can start doing this. Yeah, Michael's saying that would be really cool to have a virtual hangout to do reviews, advice, sharing ideas, collaborating. Yeah, it's really I always find that even doing our little chats with, our Google Hangout chats, the ones we did with the Sync Academy members a couple of days ago, was just so cool to just, even though it's a 2D screen, you do feel a sense of connection and community when you can talk to each other in real time. So imagine if it's, somebody's avatar right there in front of you. And I will tell you guys, I've gone to some of these apps where you are in front of strangers in these virtual worlds. I got shy because I felt the same feeling of being in public next to somebody I don't know. It still was that sense of, I don't know if I want to talk to them. I'm not going to just go start a conversation. So I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve for all of us to get comfortable with this kind of stuff, but there's definitely a personal connection, even with a complete stranger. There's that sense of like there's a boundary there. Believe it or not, even a lot of these apps, they'll show you, they'll say that you can actually put a little personal boundary around your character. So if you don't want somebody to come up and give you a hug, a virtual hug, you can prevent them from doing that. So you can put a little personal bubble around yourself. So it's real. It sounds ridiculous, but it is real. There is this sense of like when you have somebody's avatar, which is like looks like a video game cartoon character, but they're talking to you and they're like right in your face. There is a sense that there's a presence there. There's somebody there, and you do feel like immersed, at least surrounded by somebody else. Chase has a question. In your experience, does BMI collect publishing royalties and distribute them to you, whether or not you have a publishing company? And second, are you a sole proprietor or LLC or S corp of your own? So BMI, as far as I understand it, are still going to be paying out publishing royalties to you as long as there's no other publisher associated with the track. So if you just are registered as the writer of it, but there's no publisher at all associated with the track, they're going to just assume you're the publisher and send you out those publishing royalties. And as far as a sole proprietor, LLC, S corp, so I have a couple of different setups. So for I'm assuming you're talking about my licensing career. My licensing career, I'm actually a sole proprietor. I've never set up an LLC or an S corp or anything like that. So, but I'm not going to tell you you should do that as well. I can't give you guys that advice. You have to decide for yourself. There's obviously benefits for an LLC and S corp. Obviously the legal protections, tax purposes. Paying yourself a salary. It takes a little bit more work, of course, but it might be beneficial for you. So don't look at me and say, well, Jesse did this, I'll do that too. It's not a smart thing to do. What you should do is get educated. I do actually have one of my, I think if I should do, you know what, that'll be an interesting one. If I could do, well, can I? Better not mess something up right now. I'll maybe post it later, but definitely what you should do is look on my YouTube channel. And I think it's called, it's from the Business Skills for Musicians series, and I think I just put taxes in the title. I don't remember exactly what I titled it. So if you just go on my channel and look up taxes, you'll probably find it. And I do talk about some of the pros and cons of each one of these for how to do some further research and decide what's right for you. So. Do we need to have surround sound 5.1 mixing set up for VR tracks? It might be that, and it also might be 3D audio. So there might be a couple of different formats we're going to have to do, Andrew. So yeah, we're going to have to get educated on all that kind of stuff. And that's certainly what I'm doing right now by diving into this stuff, is seeing how this music is being used in these apps and these programs here so that we can be prepared for it. Oh, lean forward. Yes, lean forward in desktops. All right, let's see. I just want to make sure I don't hit something here. Hold on. Okay, no, I got plenty of room. All right, you can see my little virtual thing right there. I don't know if that's helping at all. I don't know. Let's see. Can you guys see it a little better that way? Let me know. Out of stock on the Oculus website. Yep. I was seeing that too. There's a few left on Amazon. That's actually where I got mine, Andrew, was on Amazon. So, yeah, eBay probably has a lot because a lot of people buy them and resell them. But yeah, they are jumping up. Popularity. Don't I get hammered by the IRS as a sole proprietor? No. I don't know why I'd get hammered. You could be a sole proprietor. Leaning forward did not help. Okay, so I guess it's just not as... I guess what you're saying, Michael, is that it's not super crisp. Hopefully it's a little better than last time, but it's not really completely easy to see the text. I think that's maybe what you're saying. Well, yeah, so Martin, you have a different situation than me. So again, don't look at me and say, well, Jesse's doing this works for me. No, because we're all individuals. Sorry, you can probably see my cat right now. On camera, maybe. I don't know, actually, no. Let me see, actually, if he's showing up here. So don't, and for anybody, anybody, when you're talking about your taxes and how you're setting yourself up, no, you can't, well, let's see. No, you can't see him, he's too far down there. Anyways, he's on my lap. For anybody, you never just listen to them and go like, well, this is what they're doing, this is what I'm going to do too. It doesn't make any sense to do that. You should do your own research, talk to your own CPA, do your own Google searches, obviously, evaluate your own situation. So, a lot of aliasing on the screens. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Michael. Yeah. So again, trial and error. We'll keep going. I think we definitely made a step in the right direction, a little bit. we went in a little, a little bit in the right direction, but we're not all the way there yet. It might be the case that in the meantime, there might not be a great solution that provides like super high quality, um, live streaming of this kind of content. And maybe we're going to have to just deal with, I have to just record something, get the video off of the Oculus, and then whatever, upload it later. So. Yeah, the dog, kind of a sad story yesterday. The dog, she's okay now, but she had to go to the vet because she was losing her balance. It was kind of gave us a little scare there. She had a little ear infection, so we got her all fixed up. But she's sedated actually right now and just kind of really laying around. And yeah, she looks really sad actually. So she's okay. She's gonna recover today, but we're keeping an eye on her. So yeah, no dog for this one. She's actually just laying in the bed right now. Can't read the text at all. Okay. Find a good tax account. Yeah, definitely. This one I think I'm already on wide, right? Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I can think about doing, excuse me. Oh, that one too. I mean, this is the other thing you can always easily do is just make this text massively bigger. Like obnoxiously big. Maybe it doesn't look that big to you guys, but this is like crazy. How crazy big how this is, so. Chase, do you get paid every time a video game sells, or is it a one-time fee? It's a one-time fee. Are you only paid sync fee for video games? Is there any back-end royalties? Yeah, for right now, pretty much video games, you're getting a one-time fee. No back-end royalties. There's no mechanisms in place to track that. That'll probably change in the future, but for right now, that's why I haven't really focused on video games, because I want royalties. I want passive income. So I've really focused more, not so much on the upfront sync fees. You can make good sync fees from video games, but no, right now, there's no structure in place to do this. It's the same for Netflix. Obviously you guys maybe saw some of the videos I did back in November, December, where Netflix is starting to do these, what do you call them? Let me just move this over here, actually. There you go, so I can look forward. Netflix is starting to do these direct licenses where they just pay you one time and there's no back end. So some of them are going to be like that, but I still get Netflix royalties. They are pennies. They are laughable. They're really not even almost worth printing sometimes. I am thankful I get them, but it's very, very low right now. So Netflix does pay royalties. There is royalties coming in through them. But if they're getting, usually what I find is I'm getting Netflix royalties for tracks that first aired on a TV station, a network, and then eventually got picked up by Netflix. And so that's how the royalties are generating. But if you contract directly with Netflix or through your library, a lot of times you're going to find they're doing these direct licensing deals, which I'm not going to get into those right now. I think there's pros and cons to that. It's not all bad though. Yeah, thanks, Martin. She's doing all right. But it's just weird to see your dog, who's usually happy and excited, suddenly just depressed and just laying around. That's never fun to watch. So I can read the text at that zoom level. Okay, so maybe this zoom level and maybe me also leaning in. Here's a test. Can I drink coffee wearing these? Just barely. Passes my test. Andrew, how will we find libraries who will need the specifically composed VR music? Will you do that occasionally in SyncEdge? You better believe I'm looking out for it right now, and I'm talking to other library owners about this. And I'll tell you, if you happen to be a library owner watching this stream, either live or afterwards, if you're not looking at this stuff, VR music, esports, video games, technology that's about to come on board, if you're not at least dipping your toe into this stuff and thinking about how you can start to play a role in that side of the business, your business is not going to do so well in the next 5 or 10 years. So you better believe that the smart libraries right now are looking at this stuff. And so what we're doing for sure coming on May 1st is we have a whole new series of tutorials coming up from one of our Sync Academy pros for how to create deliverable licenses, deliverable assets for somebody that wants to put their music into a video game. So we're definitely starting to put that into Sync Academy to get you guys educated on how to do that, including myself. This is something that I haven't done any work in at all, so I'm definitely going to be the first to watch these tutorials when they're ready to go. But I'm definitely releasing to you guys in Sync Academy when they're ready. And yeah, if there's ever going to be something, a library that I feel like, hey, they're dipping their toes in this, and you better believe that SyncEdge is going to cover that. We're going to go into those kind of companies in the future. So am I outside? No, I'm in my living room actually. So maybe it looks that way because I have my, what do you call it? There's probably some light behind me. You can read the text now? Cool. I've never written or produced. I want to be sure I am not here to teach you guys how to use this stuff. I don't have the time to do that. Okay, so please don't contact me for like, Jesse, show me how to set it up. No, I'm not tech support. I'm not Oculus. I don't have time to do that. So if you have the sort of like, tenacity to kind of figure it out and, get this stuff up and running, then go for it. I'd say spend some time. I'm not saying you're going to do this, Andrew, but just make sure you do have, have some familiarity with this kind of thing and get it together. And then when you have something ready to go and you want to start collaborating or just reach out, then that'd be a good time to reach out. But I can't teach you guys how to use this stuff. I just have way too much on my plate to be able to do that. So get a coffee straw, yes. What's up, Terry? Hello from Ireland, man. We are in a new era here, talking to people from all over the world in VR. How about that? Morning, Rob. How you doing, man? How does the VR user get the audio to the video that they are watching? I see the glasses, but not sure how they listen. How does the VR get... Oh, there is headphones built into this, Andrew. So you can't see them. They are just built right into this. So when I go through, play a game or listen to music or do something like that, there's actually headphones built right into it. You can probably see this little, dangling white cord there. That's just for my audio to go into my laptop. I had to use this because I didn't want the built-in, there's my cat again. I didn't want the built-in microphone in the laptop because it's, you get a little bit of that room noise and it's really echoey. And of course, now my cat wants to get on my lap. Of course, come on, buddy. All right. So I think that was your question, right? How does the VR user get the audio? I am so tangled up right now. This is what's going on here. What's going on here? Okay. I think we're good now. There we go. A minute. Wow. Wait. Delay between audio and video is rather large. You typed your email address in the chat for over a minute before you saw you type it. That's not good. Oh. I'm seeing the delay on it is not too bad, so that's really not cool. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for letting me know, Martin. So, did I get your question right, Andrew? I see the glasses, not sure how they listen. Yeah, I think that's what you're asking. So, if I got it wrong, let me know. For doing VR, is it the manufacturer agnostic, or do the participants have to be on the same platform? Good question. I'm not exactly sure, Michael. I think Michael's not seeing the delay. I'm not sure, but I do believe that a lot of these apps are cross-platform. So if you had the Vive, or I know Oculus, not every app works for all versions of because they have the Rift S, the Quest, and the Go. So the Go is the cheaper one, Quest is next level up, and the S is the higher end one. So I know that there's some apps that'll work with, the S that won't work with the Go and vice versa, that kind of thing. But as far as I know, most of these, they try to keep them cross-platform. There are going to be, I think for video games, actual games that are, created by, or for, let's say, the Vive or something like that. Yeah, some of those might be exclusive for just Vive or just Oculus. So yeah, those kind of things, maybe that'll be a little bit more exclusive to one platform or the other. But I think a lot of the collaborative stuff, like the chats, the hangouts, the social stuff, I'm pretty sure that all those developers wouldn't want to keep those on one VR headset. I think they'd want to have everybody do this. So I'm gonna just take a wild guess, a pretty educated guess, I would say, that I think that that's what they're doing. I think I hear my dog getting up, actually. Hold on, guys. Maybe not. I thought I heard her. So yeah, so I need to go, guys. My dog just woke up. I got to make sure that she's doing all right. Sorry for the quick jump off here, but we will hang soon. I'll maybe come back later today.